everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex of Coyotestarastrology, and this is the video for the full moon in Cancer coming in on December 26th, tomorrow, 2023, which is a Tuesday here in California. However, of course, you'll want to adjust for your current location as that time and day may change for you. Oof, I'm overcome with the vibes of this full moon in Cancer. It is really living up to its name and archetype in the sense that there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of raw emotion in the field. This is a very sentimental full moon that can have us thinking very deeply about our heart space and everything that is occurring within our heart space. This is definitely a full moon where you may have illuminated for you the people that you can count on in your life and the souls that are with you walking in your similar direction. It can also be a full moon where we are aching for the relationships that are no longer walking with us or that are separating from us for various reasons. I think the first thing that I want to point out is that Chiron, right here at 15 degrees, will be stationing direct the day of the full moon. So the full moon day itself and the days leading up to it have been sort of drenched and awash with Chironic energy. And Chironic energy, to be frank, hurts. It feels like a wound, because it is. And when Chiron stations, it often sort of feels like salt gets rubbed in that wound a little bit. And it can have us needing to slow down a little bit psychologically to sort of tend to that wound. Take care of it, give it attention, feel it. It's not always a super fun feeling. However, there's generally an undertone to it that feels necessary. And that's where the healing element of it comes in, is it's like, yes, this is a wound, but it's also one that is healing, but the healing hurts. And a lot of this, because of the position and sign of Chiron, once again, is about our relationships right now, because Chiron is positioned at the North Node. I just did a live where I really went into this in great detail. If you're interested in watching that live, it's the most recent post on my Instagram. I'm there at Earth to Coyote. But just briefly, Chiron at the North Node in Aries is bringing up the reality, the wound, the pain of the North Node in Aries. The North Node in Aries sounds and is a very exciting placement. It's about going after what you want and fighting for your freedom, fighting for your journey, being brave, going after a mission on your own, surrendering to loneliness to accomplish something that means something to you, to yourself, that has nothing to do with anybody else or your attachment to anywhere or anything. It's just about you. And like prioritizing all of your energies towards yourself at this time. But having Chiron there shows that there's a wound around that, and that wound has a lot to do with loneliness, has a lot to do with separation. has a lot to do with the sadness when things don't work out with other people, or they have to leave to go on their own journey, or maybe even leave to transcend this physical reality. There's pain sometimes in answering the call to our individual journey. And like I said in my live on my Instagram, where I go into this in great detail, this is actually going to get stronger. It's going to be strongest in February, and we will continue to feel this feeling, this wounded warrior feeling, grow in the next few months, whilst the need for each one of us to answer the call to our individual missions, that will also grow in tandem as well. So it's a mixed bag of, I mean, man, you're going to see in just a few days here, things are going to start moving. Decisions are going to be made. Clarity is coming. You're going to get more energy back, and you're going to get more opportunity back real soon here. And with that wave of opportunity, you know, it's going to be time to kind of like grab your board and catch that wave. You're going to be taken away from certain things at the same time. And that's happening now. I say that there's going to be a big shift of energy and a lot of forward movement because in just a few days, on December 31st, Jupiter will go direct. Then just a few days after that, on January 2nd, Mercury will go direct. Now, there's a couple things we got to discuss with Mercury. I'm going to get there in just a second. Let's talk about Jupiter first. Very, very excited about Jupiter direct, you guys. Honestly, it's funny because it's the last day of the Gregorian year, but I'm actually almost more excited for that forward moving transit than I have been for any transit of 2023. And it's coming in like right at the end. But I'm excited because it's in Taurus, this beautiful Venus-ruled earth sign that has to do with our financial stability and luxury and taking care of ourselves and setting up a life that we enjoy. Finally going to go direct, and it's going direct right where it was when it hit the North Node, like way back, feels like a million years ago. I believe it was May, don't quote me on that, but it was earlier in the beginning of the year when the North Node was still in Taurus and Jupiter made that conjunction. So there are likely things you were dreaming about, envisioning at the beginning of 2023 that are suddenly going to lift off and start moving as soon as Jupiter starts to gain some traction. So the day of the direct, we can definitely feel a light switch on, but it's typically once that planet actually starts to gain some speed that things start to unleash there. So in that way, it's a very exciting beginning to the Gregorian New Year. I also want to make a very quick announcement. I'm going to be holding a webinar where we go over the important astrological transits that I see for the first 6 months of 2024. I haven't solidified a date for that yet. If you are interested in finding out about that webinar when I launch it, send me an email, coyotestarastrology@gmail.com, and I'll put you on a list to receive an email about date and time of all of that. So yes, we've got Jupiter direct, and then we've got Mercury direct, but we got to talk about this because this is complicated. And before we talk about Mercury direct, I really need to direct your attention to this very interesting transit that we have actually happening right now, but it's going to be strongest the day of the full moon, the 26th, to the end of the Gregorian year. And that is that Mercury, still retrograde, is going to make a conjunction with Mars while square Neptune. Now, this is problematic, to be honest with you, because first of all, Mercury is retrograde. So it's not full clarity right there. Then we have Mars that is stimulating Mercury. So Mars stimulating Mercury can increase our desire to figure things out mentally. It can even increase our desire to speak, and usually with more aggression than we normally would. This is all in Sagittarius, which governs our beliefs, our strong-held beliefs, especially with Mars there, our dogmas. This is our truth, right? And of course, it's also our direction. Those of you that are making travel plans, heads up there with that Sagittarian influence. But then we have them square Neptune exactly. And Neptune, once again, planet of illusion, confusion, deception. This is where things are not clear and where we can be delusional, to be just straight up. So it's frustrating in the sense that from the 26th to, definitely the 30th, 31st, we may think that we may feel very passionate about a certain direction or a certain truth or a certain belief, but we might be delusional about it. We could also just have no idea what the hell's going on or what the truth is. That's very possible as well. So my advice here is to just be aware of this transit the days that it comes up. Obviously, how it's hitting your chart matters, so it may not be that important for you, and if it isn't, then fine. Just focus on Jupiter direct and Mercury direct and all that good stuff. However, if you find yourself confused about the truth December 26th to the 30th, or confused about your travel plans or where you're going, just let it sort of play out and know that Neptune is convoluting your screen a little bit. Maybe be, despite how you may feel, maybe be open to another perspective that you're not thinking of, and you might be glad that you did. At any rate, Mercury goes direct on January 2nd. It makes another square to Neptune before it leaves post-shadow. Let's check out when that last square happens. So here we are today. We can watch Chiron here, which will go direct tomorrow. There he went. And then Jupiter will go direct on December 31st. And then here's Mercury. Oh yeah, so watch. So the exact conjunction of Mercury Mars 24 degrees is on the 27th. So the 27th is a big day for that Neptune square energy I was just talking about. Then on the 2nd, we'll see Mercury here go direct. Boom. But you can see when Mercury goes direct, he's still kind of square Neptune. So I don't know how much clarity that direct is really going to bring. And then we've got the last square right here, January 8th. So basically, and they're still squaring on the 9th. I would say by the 11th, we're kind of like getting closer to some clarity, and then the post shadow ends on the 20th once Mercury passes 7-8 degrees Capricorn. Okay, so by January 20th, look at Jupiter is moving more. He's at 6. January 20th, there's going to be a lot more movement. We're going to have the Sun-Pluto conjunction in Aquarius, bringing me back to the vibes of the full moon. Okay, full moon is in Cancer, so we're feeling a lot. The card for this full moon is the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups is the minor arcana equivalent to the Lover's card. It's a card about the beauty of close bonds and bonding, sharing, connection, joining forces, or attraction. So there's this lovely alchemy happening between two individuals that are coming together in polarity and sharing, and the alchemy that occurs when two beings share, especially from the heart space, right? So the full moon in Cancer, it does have this kind of classic sentimental vibe, and I do feel that It's a full moon that is illuminating the bonds that we can rely on, or our desire to have bonds that we can rely on that are authentic and rooted in honesty and truth, and that, yes, of course, acknowledge and support our individual path 100%, but also that are still there and aligned and real and rooted in emotion and a heart opened space. You know, because we are in a time, especially over this last week when we had Venus opposite Uranus, that was pretty gnarly over this last week. If some of you guys had some realizations about some relationships, that was why. And now here we are in this watery full moon in Cancer with Chiron stationing direct, and we are just feeling a lot. We're realizing what's important. You know, Cancer full moons and this time of year in general can be where we're with family, and that brings up all the family karma. I don't care if you have the most beautiful family in the world, there is karma running throughout family systems, and Chiron can have us feeling that as well. You know, and people celebrate these holidays in lots of different ways. Some people prefer to be alone. I prefer to be making astrology videos in my room. That's just who I am. So there's no right or wrong way to do this, but the themes we do collectively experience together. And we are seated right at the end of the Gregorian year of 2023, about to cross the threshold into 2024. The astrology for next year is wild. It is really different than any year I've ever reported on. It's very unique. There's parts of it that feel like an action movie. There's a lot coming in, and I think we all feel that. I had a beautiful phone call with my friend Hassan. If he's listening, I love you, Habibi. And he's in Egypt, and we're always trying to play phone tag, and it's hard with our time zones. And for some reason, Christmas Miracle, we actually got we linked up on the phone this morning, and we really just, like, we talked about a lot of things, but I think there was a mutual need just to tell each other how much we love each other, because we discussed it. You know, there is this feeling that things are changing rapidly. None of us really know how much time we have or what the hell is around the next corner, and it's exhilarating, and there's a lot of excitement and so much awe and wonder, but there is also this sense of like needing to tell people how you feel. And that to me is sort of like the essence of this full moon in Cancer, is the emotion of love and soul family, and that's not always blood family, and embracing those that you care about, even if it's from a distance, you know. So I'm sending all of you a lot of love out there. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and Merry Christmas. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and a share. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want to reach out for a reading, you can at my website, coyotestarastrology.com. All right, everyone. Bye for now.